everybody, Stephen Jondra here from, well, obviously, Better Podcasting, here with a interesting video. I'm recording this today on Thursday, January 9th, 2020, and last night when we recorded Better Podcasting, I kind of screwed up. You see, I've been experimenting with a couple pieces of equipment and it just threw off my game, and yesterday I forgot to arm the track that records on my Zoom recorder that is me only. Each week I end up having a bunch of multi-track recordings, and what that means is that I can take my individual track, everything that I say, and I can put that into my editing program. I can take the one from SP, put it in as well, and then we basically are able to manipulate that and edit that however we need. Well, the problem is last night I forgot to record my section. Now, I did record, however, the master mix, meaning that everything was together, and so I can use that to a degree. The problem is when we do our little opening piece and whatnot, we have music that is over top of myself, and same thing with when I say hello and goodbye, there's music, and I could leave that in. I could probably manipulate that a little bit, try to bury it by putting a good version over top while I bring SP in and out using his track. I could just use the crappy Skype audio. There's a bunch of things that I could do, but I want good quality audio for that. So I have a couple options to how I can fix this. If this was an audio only podcast, easiest thing to do would just be to go and record the lines right now, and that would be as simple as that. But this is also a video show, so I could either try to dub over it, where I go and try to say the words at the same time I say them on the video, be mostly there, but you probably have a couple of times where I might look like a horrible translation where my mouth is just completely out of sync. Other option that I've got is I just could use that live audio, but the one that I really want to do is make sure to have it look like it was done properly the first time, and make sure that I am there with clean audio. It's SP saying his lines. Now, usually I would just call up SP and I'd say, hey, SP, we got to re-record these couple of pieces. And he'd be like, yeah, no problem. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to bug him. He's had a busy week. Tomorrow's Friday. And so I am going to get a little creative as I go to fix these couple of components that I need to get because they have music over top of them. And I want to just show a little bit of how I'm going to save this episode 214, being a little bit creative without having to bug SP. So let's go ahead and flip over here to XSplit. So what you're seeing here is XSplit. This is what I use every week to record and stream the show. And I want to show this because I am going to get a little creative, because I have to re-record the opening, the ending, as well as that whole promo piece at the beginning. Now, the parts where it's just me on screen, that's super simple. That's really easy for me to do because I'll just go and re-record those. And then when I cut to SP, I'll make sure, to just cut over. I'll use the new footage for my part, cut over to him on the old. That's simple. But the side-by-side where he is on the screen at the same time as me, I want to make sure to re-record my portion, but also keep his. And that's what I want to show you of how I'm going to do that. And just, again, get a little creative here. Now, before I do that, the problem is this isn't what I was wearing yesterday, so I should get ready for that. So there you go. I'm all ready to go. I am going to try to dupe everybody because I'm now wearing the clothes that I was wearing yesterday. I've positioned my mic flag to where it roughly was yesterday, and we're going to go ahead and try to trick everybody as I re-record some of these elements from yesterday. But let's kick it over to the split screen here that we've got, and this is the split screen. SP, hey! You joined us. This makes it a lot easier because I'll just get you to go ahead and say your lot. SP, you're more still than usual. SP. Oh, that's right, because he's not here. This is him frozen. And why is this frozen? Let's explain what I've done here. So down here, you'll see these are all of the different layers that I've got to put the show together. These are things that are all stacked to help, make the show the way it looks. And down here is usually the layer that pulls in his NDI feed. So I have a separate Skype box going, and this is the video signal essentially below all of the different overlays that you see here and whatnot. Well, right above that, I have put in a full screen capture of another one of the windows on my PC that is full screen running yesterday's video. So you have full screen taking up this whole thing here. Essentially, you've got yesterday's video, and then stacked on top of that is a bunch of the elements like the different dual here, where is it? See, like the different overlay and stuff. And so what's going to happen is as I go through and I play this video, I'm going to be live here. That's going to be him yesterday, or right there. That's going to be him from yesterday. And I'm going to record my audio at the same time that I said it yesterday. So the timing will be slightly off, but in post it'll all work out because today I am properly recording my individual track. I've got SP's individual audio track from yesterday, and we'll stitch that all together in post. And I know the timing will be there because I will be literally doing it along with yesterday's clip. It's going to sound messy. It's going to sound terrible, but that's okay because it'll all work out in post-production. Let's see how many times this takes me to get this right. So I'm just looking at the script to refresh myself. In this week's Better Podcasting Download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast that started in 2017. So let's just go ahead and play this and you'll hear.
Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting Download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast that started way back in 2017.
And finally, in this week's Better Podback, we round up a bunch of feedback over the last couple of weeks, including what people did with our podcast over the holiday break.
Lauren, I missed you over the holiday break. Start the show now. Okay, so that's why I played that, because I forgot that I said that. Lauren, I missed you over the holiday break. Start the show now. So let's go ahead and give this a try here and see how it goes. Dean. Oh, we got back up another second. Are you ready?
I am. Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting Download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast that started... Let's try it again.
On this show, we talk about what makes podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a...
Do this?
1, 2, 3. We are doing an audio test after we started the show because we were so revved up to start 2020 with Barbara Walters that we did not press record. A rare occasion on... Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting Download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast. Oh my God. Oh, see, I used the wrong one. Jeez, this is going to take forever. One more time.
Slow clap.
Are you ready?
I am. Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting Download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast that started way back in 2017.
And finally, in this week's Better Podback, we round up a bunch of feedback over the last couple of weeks, including what people did with our podcast over the holiday break.
Lauren, I missed you over the holiday break. Start the show now.
Welcome to Better Podcasting.
And there we go. That's how I'll fix that one.
With a combined history of over 1,000
what I have
episodes.
To do here now, and we'll just go ahead and turn this down here a little bit. What I have to do here now is do this opening. And I don't remember how the opening worked. I don't remember the opening. By the way, you see how this all cropped off? That's because the video is playing full screen. So let's just go ahead and we'll let this play through. And I'll just do this and you'll see how it all worked out for me. Welcome to your first episode of Better Podcasting for 2020. I am Stephen Jondra. I'm pleased to say that SP is back podcasting with me again this year. It's weird. Okay, so that's a full screen. And the reason I'm just playing that is to make sure, because I knew that he reacted to what I said. He reacts here to what I said at the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and switch here to the full screen. And I need to make sure to essentially say that same thing. Now, this one here, the timing doesn't matter. The timing's not going to matter because it's a full screen and I don't need to play it back and forth. I just need to say that joke that I don't know why or whatever I said. Welcome to your first episode of Better Podcasting for 2020. I am Stephen Jondra. I'm pleased to say that SP is back podcasting with me again this year. It's weird. Okay. Hello. Wow. And apparently I'm going through puberty. Hello and welcome to your first episode of Better Podcasting for 2020. I am Stephen Jondrew, and I am pleased to say that SP is back podcasting again with me this year. It's really weird. And I'll do it one more time just to be safe, make sure I'm happy with that take. Hello and welcome to your first episode of Better Podcasting for 2020. I am Stephen Jondrew, and I am pleased to say that SP is back podcasting with me again this year. That's really weird. I'll choose whichever one that works. And then I've got to do the end as well, which again, I don't think I need to. Oh, I do need to do split screen on this one. Okay, so this one here,
awesome.
I need to do a little bit of split
David.
screen. So let me go to the right spot here. Would spend my money. This is postshow.com. SP, that's gonna.
I want to say I appreciate you
I'll ever get.
and maintain that web.
So now what I have to do here, because he makes a joke at the end about a Blue Yeti, I need to go back here again to this. And I'm going
That's a
to need to
Better
podcast.
thank you very much for doing that and all the production you do on Better Podcasting
And I need to do this end.
.com show. Stephen, I think I'm ready to go and plug
Stephen Jondrew, episode 200.
and test it out.
All right, on that note, for episode 214 of Better Podcasting, I'm Stephen Jondrew saying, I don't know that I'll ever get used to SP liking a Blue Yeti. So this one here is going to be simple. Well, relatively simple. And we're just going to go ahead and
Podcasting and thegonnageek.com
do the same sort of thing. And I'm just going to hit play and then react and see how it goes.
show. Stephen, I think I'm ready to go and
Stephen John, episode 2.
Stephen, I think
All right, on.
and test it out and test it out. And
Come
test
on.
all the production you do on
I guess I'll have to play it through here.
and thegonnageek.com show. Stephen, I think I'm ready to go and plug my Blue Yeti and test it out.
All right. On that note, for episode 214 of Better Podcasting, I'm Stephen Jondrew. Oh, see, now I'm going to have to fix that because that video won't work that you're seeing. I'm Stephen Jondrew saying, I don't think that I'm ever going to get used to hearing SP promote a Blue Yeti. So that should all work there. Used to SP liking a Blue Yeti. I said liking, same thing.
And I don't know if I'll ever get used to Stephen at all. We'll
Bye.
see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. And so I'm just going to quickly go, bye, 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 bye. And I'll take that audio there and put that in the post. And let's have a look at that. This is the editing timeline for this episode of Better Podcasting. What I've done here is imported all of these tracks. So this here, this right here is the video from the recording. This is the audio that was from that recording with an XSplit. This down here is the master track from the Zoom recording device. So I've actually recorded that. I actually did push the record button on that track, meaning this has everything in it. And this is what I'm going to work with because it's going to have the cleanest audio because it was, even though it's got everything on it, it's right on the recorder. And then this here is SP's track. This is the one that I'll be using for his side of thing that he recorded on his end. But the problem is on this master one, it's got everything on it. Welcome to your first episode of Better Podcasting for 2020. I am Stephen Jondrew. I'm pleased to say that SP is back podcasting with me again this year. It's weird.
We debated
So
on whether
you
or
can
not
see everything's on there. Now, I want to use the good quality because that's his crummy Skype audio. And so this is going to just be a tedious process. What I'm going to do here is go through and I'm going to start by stripping out everything that's not me. So I'm going to look here. I'm going to go, all right, SP is talking here. So let's go and cut out this section here. Go over here. And so now it's going to leave me as I go through. For those of you who are wondering, audio only on this part, and him and I are usually pretty good at not over talking, so we should be okay here. If anybody over talks, it's usually me on my end over talking It's usually, oh, actually, you know what, that will be a problem, but we'll see what happens there. So let's just go in here. So again, we can see he's talking here. So let's cut that out and see what we're left with.
Blue Yeti.
For the audio listener, he's not talking about a Blue Yeti microphone. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that process, and I will show you the next step once I've got that all done. That's going to take me a while. All right. So now I've just gone and I've finished this process. You'll see as I go through here, I've just gone and I've stripped everything of SPs from my track. So I've left me with essentially the net of my audio. Now there was a couple of spots where, if you look here, there's some overlap. This is because this is actually an edit point that I'm going to clean up after. But there was a couple of spots where I had to get a little bit tricky, like here. So this is because we were speaking over each other, and because he was sort of starting talking as I was finishing, just a little fade out on mine, and getting the sync perfect. You can't really tell. You can't really tell that this is double SP on here. It's just I'm loud enough here that I'm kind of masking him on the primary track, so it kind of works out. But let's go ahead and show sort of how I'm going to use that other footage that I recorded. So if we come here and we scroll up, you'll see I've brought in the video that I recorded. So this is the video that I recorded, re-recorded there. This is me redoing my lines with the pre-recorded SP. This is my single audio track. And what I need to do here is go and line up here the SP or the new recording with the old recording. So this here is ironically a screw up because of course we're going to also have screwed up live. So I need to go and get this all lined up. We can see this is where SP starts it. So if I go and I pull this over, this is me speaking. So I know SP is right about here. Yep. What I can do is just move this over. And I know that I was pretty close to being on there when I re-recorded because I started about the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up before I actually go and merge it in here. But we can see this is where I say my line. So let's come up here and line these up. Oh, I should have grouped these, but it's going to be close enough. That's okay. We'll just see. Doesn't need to be perfect. Let's have a look. There we go. And now in theory, we should be good to go here as I go through, and I'll go and actually mute this track here because this is the one that has the original recording, and we'll see how it looks.
Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
Okay, so we're off a little bit. I'll just go finesse the timing a little bit so it looks like it's in sync.
Welcome to episode 200.
And it's going to not be perfect on the video you're seeing because of the way that I'm recording my screen right now. There's a bit of latency and stuff.
Welcome to episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting. So I'll just go and make sure that that is exactly where I'm comfortable with it being.
Episode 214 of Better Podcasting. On this show, we talk about what makes a likable podcast host.
In this week's Better Podcasting download, we discuss a breakout year for a podcast that started way back in 2017.
And finally, in this week's Better Podback, we round up a bunch of feedback over the last couple of weeks, including what people did with their podcast over the holiday break.
Lauren, I missed you over the holiday break. Start the show now. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just edit those all in. I'm going to put this audio down on my regular track here. I'm going to get rid of all this, put that in there. Then I'm going to go and at the opening, do the same thing, grab the stuff I re-recorded, put that in at that end there where we have the little side by side there. I'll go and match that all in the same way I just did with that opening, stitch that all in. I won't show all that because it's just repeating the same process. And if you want to check out how it all turned out at the end, go to betterpodcasting.com/214. you can check out the final product. Now, before I go, I do want to note, because people are probably about to comment right now, you can go ahead and delete your comment. I could have done this all in post-production. I could have simply just recorded myself completely singly and then edited it in here using masks and stuff. But this was actually a little bit easier because of the way that we do this. We've got curved edges. This little bar here glows, that bar glows. And just for keeping it consistent and not having to do a bunch of masking in post, this was actually an easier process, was to do it through XSplit with the masking happening right there live. So then I can go and edit this all in. If you got any questions about this, please ask in the comments or email us. And if you want to check us out live, we do usually stream at geeks.live. Just check out our social media if you want to keep in touch with when we do that. Better Pod is the Better Podcasting Twitter, and check out some other content over at gonnageek.com. Thanks for watching this.